Hey everyone, it's Mr. Bloom. So, my goal here today is for you to get an understanding of what's the difference between two very important words, those being weather and climate, as you can see in the title here. What is the difference between weather and climate? I'm sure you've probably heard both of these words before, and they're often kind of used together, but there are some similarities and differences between the two words, which is, again, our goal for today. So, first of all, we got weather and climate, the words in kind of bluish here. One thing they definitely do have in common that we need to know is that they're both taking place, whether it's weather or climate, they're taking place in the Earth's atmosphere. So, around our planet, there is a big bubble or pocket of gas that surrounds our planet. So, again, it's a big pocket around us that has many different gases. And basically, what happens in the atmosphere are the different weather and climate conditions that can exist. So again, weather and climate both take place in the Earth's atmosphere. We're not talking about outer space. We're not talking about inside the Earth. It's in that bubble of gas around the planet. So now, one major difference is the timing involved in each. So if we start with weather, as the definition says here, weather is a short period of time. So it's the conditions of the atmosphere in a short amount of time. Now, weather can be by the minute, it could be the day, it could be an hour, but it's a short period of time. And trust me, it can change a lot in a short amount of time. So, again, weather short time. You might also hear something called the weather forecast. That's another word here, forecast. There's not really a climate forecast, there's a weather forecast, and that's kind of the prediction of what meteorologists feel the weather is going to be for that day, that hour, into the near future. Usually, a forecast is about up to 2 weeks away, and it definitely can change a lot within those 2 weeks. So, forecast is weather related as well. So, it's short time for the weather. Now, climate, on the other hand, climate's a long period of time. We're talking like what's happened over many, many years of gathering data. Typically, it's at least 30 years of data to establish a climate for an area. So if you see the word average, or you see anything that's a long period of time, that goes with the climate. So basically, what scientists do is they take the weather in an area over many, many years. Okay. And then they use that information to kind of get a good feel of what the climate for the area is. So, for example, in New Jersey, for many, many, many years, it's been warm in August. So, in August, the climate in New Jersey is warm. Okay. Because they've gathered that data over many years, at least 30. So, for the climate. So, again, it's long term, it involves averages, and it's a long period of time. Now, whether it's weather or climate, remember, both of them have to do with the atmosphere. Another similarity is pretty much the two main components of weather and climate are the temperature. That's how hot or cold it is. That's that underlined word over here in black, temperature. And the amount of precipitation is involved with both as well. That's how much liquid falls from the sky. It could be rain, it could be snow, it could be sleet, it could be hail, but the amount that we get. So an area's climate has a certain temperature for the time of year, and also there's an amount of precipitation for that time of year as well over many, many years of getting data. And then, of course, we have our daily temperature and amount of precipitation as well. So we come down to a little comic here. I'm sure you saw this yesterday as well. Basically, we have a climate picture and a weather picture. And in the climate one, it has August 20th circled. It looks like this person might be going on a trip on August 20th. And it says, it'll probably hit 90. I'd better take lots of water. This person's assuming it's going to hit 90 because typically in New Jersey, in August, it's 90 degrees. That's the climate. Now, when that day actually comes, the picture over here on the right, the person says, oh, it is 90. I'm glad I brought lots of water. So the weather for the day was actually 90 degrees, what the climate predicted it to be. Sometimes the weather matches the climate, sometimes it doesn't. So typically, here's a good saying that we use for the weather: climate's what we expect. Okay, for example, in New Jersey, we expect it to be cold in January. That's what the climate's been for many, many years. And the weather's what you actually are going to get. So we expect it to be cold in New Jersey in January, but sometimes we have those days where it could be a lot warmer than expected. And that day, that's the weather that happened. Weather's constantly changing. All right, so I hope this gave you a good summary of the differences between the two. Again, there's some similarities, things they have in common, and definitely some differences when we use the words weather and climate. Now, your task for today is going to involve a Venn diagram that looks like this. So if you forgot what a Venn diagram is, it's basically we're using a two-circle Venn diagram today. So in this section where my mouse pointer is, this is where weather-related things are going to go. Over here on the right, climate-related things. And if they share both, it's a similarity. It goes both in weather and climate. We put it in the both in the middle. All right. So when you use this, you can figure out a way that works for you, but sometimes it's tough to type in this. So what you might want to do is you might want to insert what is known as a text box in each of these sections before you begin. So I can insert one here, and then later I can go back and type in this section easily. You can also insert one in the middle for both, and insert one over here in climate. If you have another technique, go for it. But if you're struggling to type stuff in, please put a text box first in each. Now, what you're going to place in these sections, and you'll see all of this attached to Google Classroom, is there are going to be 9, once this loads up, there's going to be 9 words or 9 statements you're going to place. Here they are, and there's directions on here as well. So you're going to place these 9 items in the correct section of the Venn diagram. You can choose to type them in, but if I was you, I would just copy and paste them into the diagram after you set up those text boxes. Again, don't just guess. Use the notes that we went over in the beginning of the video to help you, and we pretty much went over all of this stuff to place it in the right section of the Venn diagram. Okay, so again, you're going to fill these in and put them in the right section of this Venn diagram that compares weather and climate. All right, good luck with this. If you have some extra time today, maybe go outside and check out the weather in your area. Remember, that's what's happening right now. And the climate is the long term, what we basically expect to happen for many, many years in the past worth of data. All right, have a good day. See you soon.